conflict resolution is dash through a conflict. Sharp thinking, problem solving is the right choice.
A lack of self-awareness can be a cause of dash.
Good thinking, conflict is the right answer. Disagreement resulting in struggle or argument. You're right. Conflict is the correct answer.
What is the fourth part of conflict resolution?
On track. Resolve by compromising is the correct answer. What is one of the 5 ways to resolve conflict? Nicely done. Negotiation is a solid answer.
My friend calls me short and it makes me mad B.
Right again. B conflict is a valid answer.
Being accountable for something dash means
Well reasoned. Taking responsibility for your actions is the correct choice.
what is the third step for resolving conflict?
Good job. Your answer talk quietly about it works well here.
Which is not a method of conflict resolution?
Great job. Investigate is the accurate answer. What is a characteristic of healthy conflict? Exactly. Increased understanding makes sense, and it is right choice. What is the first step to solving a conflict? Valid point. Stop is true. Which one of these is not a type of conflict? Clear logic. Your choice man vs machine is sound and 100% true. What conflict occurred at the end of the story? Right choice. Only one gummy bear was left is the best answer. Who is affected by conflict in the workplace? Strong choice. Everyone is the right answer. When resolving conflict, the main goal is to excellent choice. Find middle ground or a win-win solution is the right answer. Which behavior is best for solving conflict? Smart move. Involve is an accurate answer. What's a good method for resolving conflict? Well picked. Explain your needs clearly is the correct answer. How can you stop conflict before it happens? Great thinking. All options is the right choice. In a conflict, why are messages helpful? Well done. They explain how you feel what you want is the right choice. What are ways to resolve or avoid conflict? Perfect. All of the above is the correct choice.
What conflict resolution meaning of winner?
Nice work. You chose competing and it is correct. What is the process of exchanging messages? Correct. Communication is the right answer. What conflict resolution methods are there? You got it? Your choice negotiation, mediation, arbitration is right.
Branch responsible for passing a resolution.
Excellent. Legislative is a brilliant choice. Ignoring conflict is likely to make it dash. Nice selection. Worse is the correct and valid answer. Which answer is used to resolve a conflict?
Correct response. Conversatory mediation is the most accurate answer.
A problem solved or resolved, a resolution. Bravo. Solution is the answer. What is the best way to resolve a conflict? You chose peaceful, direct confrontation. and it is correct. What is an example of unhealthy conflict? Smart pick. Lack of communication is the correct choice. The outcome may cause intergroup conflict. Solid response. Win-lose is a valid choice. Which of the following is not a conflict? Excellent. Character vs natural is a brilliant choice.
The second step in conflict resolution is
Well picked. Develop a clear plan is the correct answer.
what conflict outcome is most desirable?
Great thinking. You win, they win is the right choice. Ability to bring stuff up from the past. Good thinking. Conflict archaeology is the right answer. The best way to deal with conflict is to Smart move. Resolve is an accurate answer. When solving conflict, dash the problem. Great job. Identify is the accurate answer. Social submissives deal with conflict by Right choice. Making jokes and changing the subject is the best answer.
What are the two main types of conflict?
Exactly. Internal and external makes sense, and it is right choice. What does redirect the conflict mean? Nicely done. Turn the conflict into a fruitful conversation is a solid answer. Aggressive styles deal with conflict by Nice selection. Yelling, name-calling, eye-rolling, and fighting is the correct and valid answer. A conflict can become violent when dash. Perfect. All of them is the correct choice. Which one is not a good resolution tip? Correct. Screaming at someone is the right answer.
Which is not conflict resolution mode?
Solid response. Controlling is a valid choice.
All are ways to avoid conflict except. You're right. Pick up a fight is the correct answer. What is the definition of cooperation? On track. The willingness to work well with others is the correct answer. What is the second step in a conflict? Well reasoned. Listen up is the correct choice. To resolve a conflict, you need to dash. Nice work. You chose all of the above, and it is correct. How many types of conflict are there? You chose 4, and it is correct.
Why is conflict resolution important?
Good job. Your answer healthy relationships works well here. Which of these counts as a conflict? Sharp thinking. All of the above is the right choice. Is any clash of ideas or interests? Smart pick. Conflict is the correct choice. What is the definition of conflict? Valid point. A disagreement is true. How was Rashan's conflict resolved? Clear logic. Your choice Calvin learned Rashan's test score accidentally is sound and 100% true. A resolution in a story means dash.
Strong choice. Solution is the right answer.
What is a way to resolve conflict? Right again. Compromising is a valid answer. What are the causes of conflicts? Bravo. All 3 options are correct is the answer. Which is a benefit of a conflict? Correct response. Differences are often settled is the most accurate answer. When might conflict be necessary? Excellent choice. All of the above is the right answer.
What is a solution or resolution?
You got it. Your choice how a problem is solved is right.
How did the Bosnian conflict end?
Well done. Ceasefire is the right choice. S of the solve method stands for bravo. Seek the other person's views is the answer. How did they resolve the problem? On track. Everyone took responsibility for their actions is the correct answer. A conflict in a story means dash. Correct. Problem is the right answer. In a conflict, the enemy is dash. Well picked. The problem trying to be solved is the correct answer. What is a synonym for conflict?
Good thinking. A fight or struggle is the right answer. A custom or belief is called.
You chose tradition, and it is correct. What is conflict resolution? Well done. A process in resolving a conflict is the right choice.
What is conflict mediation?
Excellent choice. Resolve the conflict with several options is the right answer. Conflict resolution is dash.
Strong choice. Negotiating diplomatic solutions to personal workplace issues is the right answer.
What is a conflict trap?
Correct response. When someone provokes you to respond angrily is the most accurate answer.
What does resolution mean?
Nice work. You chose solving a conflict and it is correct.
What can start a conflict? Smart move. Saying hurtful things is an accurate answer.
Which is true of conflict?
You got it. Your choice, all are correct, is right. How to resolve a conflict?
Well reasoned. Actively listen is the correct choice.
What is being different?
Clear logic. Your choice diversity is sound and 100% true.
What causes a conflict? Excellent.
All of the above is a brilliant choice.
What do you mean peace?
Great. Jobber. Calm and quiet state where there is no conflict is the accurate answer.
What is a compromise? Nicely done. Reaching a solution by giving up something is a solid answer.
What is a mediator?
Nice selection. A person who helps people solve conflicts together is the correct and valid answer. What is conflict?
Good job. Your answer, a strong disagreement or argument between people, works well here.
How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format?
Bah. Perfect. Contact Narayan Changder is the correct choice.